While we keep our eye on what's going on between the meeting with Labour and the government, even the National Assembly, well, today we start off focusing on the People's Democratic Party. Well, yes, we're coming to you live from Port Harcourt in Rivers State. We're joined now by His Excellency Wike, Governor of Rivers State. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, focusing on the PDP and looking ahead of that convention, there's been several reports about how one group is dissatisfied with what is going on. The PDP breaking into several factions ahead of this convention, which some people don't even know if it's still going to hold. Tell us, what's going on with the PDP?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to explain to members of the public. And of course, this is democracy at play. So many people have their own theory, permutations, what is going to happen in PDP, there's a crisis, that is not correct. Of course, you expect that as a party, which party has been in power since 1999 to 2015, I want you to understand that people still love the party. And so you don't expect that as an opposition party today in the country that people will still be interested to talk about forming different groups within the party. Obviously, we have had problems of leadership in the party from one chairman to the other. And the last chairman we had was Modu. And it was not possible to replace him from the zone where the chairmanship, from the area that the chairmanship was zoned to, which was not east. But sometimes the National Working Committee came up with a proposal that, look, it is important that this zone should complete their tenure. And Alhaji Modu Sheriff was appointed to complete the tenure of Modu. So many people kicked against it for what they may consider as somebody who was new to the party. And
they said it was imposed.
Well, it is not correct. There's nothing like imposition because there are different layers of the party. You have the National Working Committee, you have the caucuses of the party, you have the BOT, you have the NEC. NEC is the apex body of the party that takes the decision. And so what the various groups did, from the National Working Committee to the caucus of the party, and the caucus of the party is made up of members of the National Working Committee, the governors, the representatives of the National Assembly, representatives of the Board of Trustees, and they all agreed that yes, it would be important that we present Alhaji Modu Sheriff. Yeah, there was debate as to the suitability of him. By the end of the day, he was chosen, and so his name was forwarded to the National Working Committee, to the National Executive Committee of the party, which is NEC. And NEC ratified the decision of this body. So you don't expect in a situation like that you bring out somebody without people saying no, I don't think that person is the right person to be choosing as far as that position is concerned. It's not a military government, people who have their own different opinion. But at the end of the day, what happened was that the higher decision-making organ of the party, which is the National Executive Committee of the party, ratified the decision that, okay, Alhaji Modu Sheriff should be the chairman that will complete the tenure of Alhaji Modu that was zoned to the northeast. And that is the position. But
at that time, didn't it matter what the NWC thought? Because the NWC spoke up at that time too, saying no, they didn't like his candidature. No, it's not correct. And National Working Committee, that was not correct at all. In fact, yes, but you will also know that where you have 10, 15 people in a body, one or two persons will disagree. But that does not mean that the body never took a decision. And that's what I've always told people, that, well, it's not a rubber stamp thing, it's not a military decision, where you say, oh, the higher body, the Supreme Military Council has said this, and therefore nobody will criticize it. If you have 10, 11, 12, 15 members of a group, the National Working Committee, some will say yes, some will say no. By the end of the day, they all agreed. And that is the situation.
You know, the fear here for members, some of them, I'm sure you must have seen their complaints, especially when two groups came up to say Alhaji Modu Sheriff should step down in May, and this is May, at the convention which comes this weekend. Some were also saying that because of his inability to constitute the committees for this particular convention. What have you, you're the chairman of this convention, yes, and you're also the host. Have you been able to meet some of these groups? Because specifically, there are two of them, two different groups that have been clamoring for a step down of Elijah Sheriff.
Like I said, that is the interest as far as democracy is concerned. First of all, one of the NEC meetings, it was agreed that the chairman of the party, after due consultation with different stakeholders, should constitute the committees that will organize this convention. One, the chairman constituted the National Planning Committee, which I'm the chairman of the planning committee of the convention. Two, a venue was chosen, which is Port Harcourt. And three, the zoning committee was set up, which was headed by the governor of Akwa Ibom State. The reconciliation committee was set up, which is headed by the governor of Bayelsa State. And the finance committee of the party was also set up, which is headed by the governor of Gombe State. So it is not correct that he did not constitute various committees. Now, after the zoning, I think the whole problem started when the zoning committee came up with their report that, look, this is what we think that the party should adopt. Like I said, yes, it is a committee. They don't have the final decision. They made their own recommendations, and their recommendations were taken to NEC, which is the final body that takes decision on behalf of the party. And when it got to NEC, NEC accepted the recommendation of the zoning committee, which was headed by the governor of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Emmanuel Udom. Obviously, you don't think that people should not. There are a lot of interest. Now, assuming I'm from the northeast, I'm from the northwest, and I have an intention to run for chairmanship, and then it is being zoned to another area. Obviously, I will kick against it. No, why would it be so zoned? Why would it not come to the northwest? In fact, why do you even zone into a particular zone? Why not say the entire north? So these are the games that we are playing out. So many things were happening at the same time. But NEC accepted the recommendations of Udom's committee. Whether Udom did the right thing or not, but what is important, that the National Executive Committee of the party accepted the recommendations of NEC. Now, the date was fixed for the convention. That is 21st of May. Now, we have to start with the congresses that will lead to the national convention. So you started from the world congresses down to the local government congresses, down to the state congresses. In all of these congresses, there were complaints. That, look, in my own state, for example, some of the leaders were saying they were not involved. Nobody told them what was happening. In some states, people said, look, this was what was going on. We don't think that will lead to the unity of the party. And so those who probably felt that they were not consulted, they were not carried along, said, look, we can't accept this. We are talking about on behalf of the founding fathers of the party. And so that the convention should not hold on the 21st of May in Port Harcourt. And that would make or mar or break the existence of the People's Democratic Party. Obviously, we are members of the party. They raise genuine concerns, and so people have to listen to them. And I'm sure that most people were thinking that will be the end of PDP. But that tells you how these processes go on, and at the end of the day, PDP will come out stronger and stronger. Now, we met with most of the concerned members, and so many things were agreed. And one of the things that was agreed was, look, now this, for me, it was a necessary fear that we don't think that giving this chairmanship to North, that you have a genuine intention of zoning the presidency to the same North. But we made it clear to them that the party before now had agreed that it will zone, or it has zoned the presidency to the North. So the issue of saying that you are not quite sure that the North will still retain the presidency, so that was made clear to them. Again, there are complaints of some people in some of the states Concerning the congresses, will be looked into. Take for example, if we are from zone A, I mean state A, and state A is complaining about the congresses that took place, we cannot overlook those complaints. And therefore, the party agreed, yes, we have to look into the complaints of those people from that state.
So you're doing that state by state? The
Yes.
committee will look at
Yes,
all grievances?
Yes, we look at all grievances in order to carry everybody along. As it is today, we will not say that A is not important, B is not important, therefore let them go. No, you need everybody.
Are those grievances being looked at before the convention, or is it at the convention you look at?
No. First of all, we cannot shift the convention. And they also know, the Board of Trustees, they also know, and it's concerned people, they also know that shifting the convention will be very, very dangerous, because that will mean that you may not have National Working Committee in existence. Because the last day they have is 21st, and that day they will dissolve the National Working Committee to allow for a new election. Okay, if it passes that day, it means you were talking about setting up a caretaker for the party, which will be very, very dangerous.
Why do people say? Sorry, why do people say there's a court order stopping the party from holding that convention?
It is not correct. Now, you see, again, that's what we're talking about in politics. So many things go on in politics. Now, look at it. Some people rush to the Federal High Court in Lagos. In fact, using the chairman's name, Alhaji Modu Sharif, and that he went to court, stopping the convention, that his stay will be up to 2018-2019. Without Modu Sharif knowing that somebody has done that. And of course, the court also, somebody went there and said that he was representing Modu Sharif, and that he was also representing the party without the party knowing. And the lawyer saying that he represented the party, when they have said, look, he has no objection to the purported relief being sought by Alhaji Modu Sharif. And the court said, fine, if you are the defendant, in this case being PDP, and you have no objection to what they are not purported relief being sought by the plaintiff, which is Modu Sharif, then let me give judgment. But this is not correct. People just, you see, that's why we are saying we must be careful of the kind of roles people play, whether they are to stabilize the party or destroying the party. And of course, we found out, I'm going to tell you that in a letter. So this is too bad. I'm not aware of this. How would I have gone to court when I'm still the one contesting for the chairmanship electoral convention?